Alright, so time for another what if scenario, and as you can see, this is basically what if the Red Corsairs existed in the Star Wars universe. Like, let's say for some reason, some Maelstrom chicanery happened, and now Huron Blackheart and his Red Corsairs are now in the Star Wars universe. What would that be like? Like, what would it be like if you just put a bunch of renegade space marines, a few Xenos, and give or take their crew of humans, just spit them out in the Star Wars universe? What would that look like? Well, let's kind of talk about that and kind of really examine what that would mean. So, for starters, I really do think that the big thing is, I think people would think, Huron he'd want to be a conqueror. He'd want to like conquer a planet. To which I say, Corsair King. He is a pirate. He's gonna do pirate stuff. It's now that he doesn't have to be impeded by the Imperium. He may have been called the Tyrant of the Maelstrom, but the thing of it is, he was a pirate king. And he's probably going to just do pirates. He's just going to look at it and be like, no Imperium? No one I have to, like, share a crap hole system with? No freebooters? No Uriel? Sweet. Honestly, I think the Red Corsairs ending up in the Star Wars universe would probably be the best case scenario, because even though, yes, the Red Corsairs don't have like a Legion level force, they would definitely be a credible threat, especially in the Outer Rim. The Outer Rim of the Star Wars universe, where, you know, gangs and pirates and things like that, they all run rampant, and really the only law out there isn't Imperial law, it's Hutt law. So the Hutt syndicates would basically be the real power out there. Now, the thing of it is, you put Huron and the Red Corsairs out there in this galaxy, I guarantee you their first thought is, we can just take whatever. Like, we're probably going to be the biggest threat out there. Yeah, that would be it. The Red Corsair ships, while they aren't exactly as maneuverable, nor are they as, heavily fortified, but let's be real, Warhammer 40k tech isn't exactly on the same level as Star Wars technology. It's bigger and has a lot more guns, but it's not exactly what you would call an agile ship. It's more along the lines of a flying junk heap with guns. Especially when it comes to Huron's personal fleet. Now, I do think that Huron would want to keep a low profile at first. I do think him and the Red Corsairs would probably be raiding supply lines, and he would probably look at it. He would also be like, I don't have to answer to the Dark Gods anymore. I don't have to listen to Abaddon's crap. Nice. So he would just be running hit and run campaigns. Would Huron want to conquer a planet? I don't think so. I don't think him conquering worlds would be in his interest or even like his care. I don't think he would honestly care in the slightest about conquering a single world. I think he would be more along the lines of he'd be more like, that takes time. Like, then we have to hold the planet. Then we have to spend resources on that. I don't want that. I don't need that. He's just going to be hit, run, keep going. And granted, his ships won't be able to do hyperspace. I'm sure, though, I am certain that once Huron and the Corsairs find out what a hyperspace drive is, I guarantee you, like, Huron and the rest are either A, going to try to install a hyperspace drive into their ship. That probably won't go so well. Or B, they'll just take another ship. I guarantee you, the moment Huron sees a destroyer or one of the lower class Venators, he's going to be like, gimme. That'll be it. He'll just steal another ship that can allow him to do hyperspace jumps. He's also probably going to be recruiting other pirates or mercenaries to his cause, because that's what you do as an Outer Rim pirate. If a giant 10, a 7 to 8 foot tall man dressed in armor that could probably take your plasma shots pretty well, is going to walk up to you with a huge claw hand that shoots fire out of it, and tells you, "Hey, you're part of my crew now. You're going to teach me how to use this ship." You are going to do it. Yeah. So Huron and the Red Corsairs are more than likely going to do that. Once they figure out their ship just isn't going to work here, they'll abandon it and take something else. Whether they steal it from, other pirates, or they steal directly from the Empire, they're gonna do it, because their whole thing is adapt or die. That is their whole thing, is just we're gonna adapt, and we're gonna take what we want. Now, I do think, given if they steal an Imperial ship or not, their main force of that will be probably after them the most are the Hutts, because I guarantee you Huron's not going to care about, traditional codes from the Pikes or Black Sun, or even the Hutts themselves. The criminal syndicates will more than likely be Huron's main enemy. I think he's going to learn, once he learns more about like the Mid-Rim and core worlds and the Empire, he's going to be like, so it's just the Imperium, but unabated by anyone else, and it's actually run very sufficiently. Note to self: we're not going that far. So Huron unless he knows that he can steal something from the Empire and get away with it, he's not going to do that. What he is going to do is probably make war with the other gang, with the syndicates. Now, I do think, however, him and his forces could easily outgun a lot of his opponents. Now, granted, he does have some wizards and librarians that are Traitor Legion, and since the warp's not there, they're going to be cut off from it, so they're going to be a little useless, but that's only few and far between, because he's still got the Enforcer, he's got his Apothecary, he's got tons of other renegade Space Marines and Chaos Warbands under his rule, that he'll be fine without it. He'll also, the other thing is, as a pirate, and like I said, Huron is all about adaptation. So Huron is probably going to, once he can't find weapons to use his bolters for, he's just going to start using plasma rifles and things like that. Probably make them a little bigger for his forces. But yeah, he's just going to go to war and cut out a little piece for himself against the Hutts and the Pikes. And I could even see him making deals with the Hutts, Pikes, and Black Sun, and being like, hey, so we stole your whole thing of spice. I don't know what that is, but it sounds addictive. So here's what I'm gonna do. You pay me, and we'll come to an agreement. Maybe some new ships, some new resources, something like that. Or the Pikes or the Pikes, Hutts, Black Sun, what have you. Or Crimson Dawn, take your pick. Any one of them will probably hire Huron for a job and use them as cover. And Huron and the Red Corsairs will just be like, we know we're being used here, but hey, it's money. So yeah, I could even see the Red Corsairs handing out their services to them, maybe even the Imperials. The Empire is no stranger of using pirates and mercenaries from the Outer Rim to their services. And once they probably hear about these giant soldiers who have dense armor and use strange weapons that could just absolutely cleave through your regular soldier, I promise you, and I can definitely say Vader and the Imperials would probably look at Huron Blackheart as a viable ally to either to hunt down rebel forces, or use them for transportation of weaponry, or just attack planets to justify going into to have Imperial forces go there. They've done that. It's been credible. There's a lot of resources that show that the Imperium would hire pirates and mercenaries in and have them raid a planet several times over, and then the Empire would come in and be like, "See, you needed us all along. We're just here to protect. We're here to protect you. You are now under the. We're gonna have a garrison here now, a permanent Imperial garrison to make sure those nasty pirates go away." And Huron is just gonna be like, "Cool, pay me." Yeah. So eventually, yes, they will run out of their resources, but again, pirate. They'll just adapt and utilize new weaponry. Huron is no doubt going to probably also be thankful that he won't be hearing from the Chaos Gods or Abaddon, so that'll be even better. I don't see him as some great conqueror or give me a world or a system. He's going to be like, I am now unimpeded by 4 cosmic assholes and one guy who won't shut up about burning down the galaxy. Everything's going my way now. So yeah, honestly, I think the Red Corsairs would survive pretty well in the Star Wars universe. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think it would be like if the Red Corsairs existed in the Star Wars universe? Just comment below. Let me know. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.